And now, Game of Thrones Season 4 review. With the thrilling insight of Dexter. The ravenous observations of Oxnard. And the always particular footnotes of Boss. Shooting the Shit presents a review of Game of Thrones. Two Swords. Hey, Game of Thrones, we're back!
Alright!
Alright.
Yeah!
What'd you guys think, opening
Yeah, it was pretty awesome.
season opener?
It was very nice.
Two Swords was the name of the episode.
Yep, we heard before.
Oh yeah, they made
What'd you
the two
think of the
swords,
opening?
I get it.
With Tywin.
Okay, yeah. Liked it.
Yeah, I like Tywin.
No, it was good. They're showing the melting
Very
down of
dramatic.
Ned Stark's old
What's
sword
so
into
big
two.
about, like, Valyrian steel? Is it, like, +3 or something?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, basically. It's like it's like how like isn't the thing with Vikings like they made like the perfect sword and
Yeah.
like no one knows how to make this sword that the Vikings used anymore. It's been
Yeah.
lost for like 1,000 years.
It was made in some fashion that even today you would have trouble with, but
Like, no one can replicate this master, craftsmanship. So
Right.
that's what like the Valantian steel is
it
in this
Valantian?
world.
Valerian.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, from Volantis though, right?
Valkyria.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, that's not right.
That's a game. A Game of Thrones.
Oh,
So,
it
yeah,
all comes together.
together.
Yes. So anyway, he reforged Ned Stark's sword into two.
Mm-hmm.
Gives one to Jamie.
The opening, just as for a Tywin scene, I thought was...
Oh, that alone.
especially,
Yeah, that was
like
awesome.
throwing the fur on the fire and stuff.
That was a really cool intro, them showing. And like all the symbolism behind that, too.
Mm-hmm.
A lot going on, because you have the fall of Ned Stark, melting that sword down, because he would always be in the, like that prayer wood, like by the wirewood tree, the god's wood, sharpening it after he carried out a sentence or something, and then you have, Ned, the skin of Rob's wolf being tossed into the fire. There's a lot of symbolism going on in that scene, too.
Right. Now, was that Rob's wolf?
Whose wolf would it have been?
Because didn't they cut the wolf's head off?
Oh. Well, whose wolf was it?
And it looks small.
I don't know.
No, it was long. It looks small because it's
I
just
don't
skin.
think so.
It's just skin. See how big you look when you're
I
nothing but
actually
skin.
didn't think it was a dire
just a
wolf.
pile of skin. I think it was.
All right.
Let's see what Claire has to say. She'll settle this.
Then finally we get to see what Jaime's new hand looks like, which I always wanted to see. Now in the book,
Yeah.
wasn't it more like a mechanical thing? Or-
No, I don't think so. I
was
think it was
just-
like solid gold.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I
I'm
think.
thinking of something else.
Yeah, but we were talking about the different shapes. They kind of had several opportunities to make a really good hand for him.
Right.
And they kind of blew it.
Now, see, there's things I want to say, but pertaining to Jaime,
Yeah.
I'll try and be as non-spoiler, but if you read the book, certain characters wouldn't meet at this point that they have
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Jaime and Joffrey.
Oh, yeah. Oh, so, right, when they're in
In the book, there's hardly any interaction between Jaime and Joffrey. Like, I can't remember.
Oh, yeah, there's like... no. From what I remember, they're starting to delve into Feast for Crows stuff here, too.
Right.
Because now Jaime's back, and then...
They're gonna send them off.
they show like the strain of the relationship between Jaime and Cersei. That was really interesting in this episode too. And then you see like Jaime becomes more concerned with being a part of the King's Guard and stuff, and the history behind it. And there is a lot in the book. I remember about him like reading the book that Joffrey's flipping through and kind of making fun of.
Oh yeah, that was.
And
crazy.
then he's like shitting on Jaime. That was crazy.
Yeah, what's the problem with that kid? It's so annoying. Why is
He's a
everything?
megalomaniac.
I know,
I
but
mean, it's wouldn't. I feel like you would be the exact same way, or I might be the exact same way if you were in his position.
I don't think
and
so.
if you were an insane person
Yeah, I guess if I was insane.
and a sociopath.
But just how like little jabs at everyone's character, and it's just
he's a shithead, and he's the king.
I know, it's detestable.
That's what happens when you get someone with his personality and his like social disposition,
Mental
and you
illness.
put them in that position of power. You know what I mean? That's the result you're gonna get.
But yeah, in the book, Jaime, he becomes like obsessed with these pages. How like it tracks all the history of
It
every
becomes
night.
very important to him.
And I remember there was a scene, part in the book where he's like writing the entry for like some knight who had just died and stuff. Or like
Yeah.
he was like filling in the blanks. Like some nights he's like, wait, I was there. He did this. I'm not seeing this in the records.
That's
or
right.
anything. Yeah. So.
But in the show, that was when Joffrey sees Jaime Lannister's page there, And then
He's an asshole.
that was ridiculous. I was so pissed off watching that. And then he's saying, "Oh, it's a little short." And Jaime's going, "There's still time." And he's going, "Time? You're a 40-year-old one-handed jerk off." Basically, is what he's calling him. You suck.
Yeah, and he leaves the room.
Yeah, that was nuts.
And you get to
that
see-
one asshole guard. That guy was pissing me off. I always protect the king.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
The
yeah,
people
yeah.
love that king. What a jerk.
Yeah, and now I like how you saw like Jaime's reaction to seeing what Joffrey is and stuff, and it's like, oh
Yeah.
god.
I'm surprised that I thought Cersei was going to say, because there's that scene between Jaime and Cersei where,
Yeah, let me get to that scene.
And Jaime's like, "You drink a lot now."
Yeah.
And Cersei starts going down the list
yeah.
of why, which
That
was
was
very
funny.
good. Yeah, that was funny and sad at the same time. But she didn't mention, and my son's a fucking maniac either, because we know that she knows that. Oh,
There are
man.
a few lists. Tyrion makes a list. To
That's
Shay.
true. There's a lot of lists in this.
Well, maybe two, I guess.
That's a lot.
Oh well, obviously he's
Oh.
he's trying to put the moves on his sister. She's
Yeah,
like,
she's
no.
not having it. Oh, and she shits all over him too, because she says you took too long, and he's like, "What the fuck do I got to do?"
like
Jesus Christ!
no respect for this guy. And I like this guy now. When I first started reading the books,
See,
I did not like him.
when I read right, Storm of Swords made me. Jaime Lannister became one of my favorite characters when I was reading that book.
Yeah.
Oh, the other scene with Jaime was when he's talking to Brienne about keeping
that's
the
right.
vow, and he's saying that was funny too. He's like, "Are you sure we're not related?" Because everybody in my family has been driving me nuts. Yeah, and
sit,
they're
like, up
watching
my ass.
over Sansa there, being a Debbie Downer.
We're introduced to a new character, which I was very pleased with. The Dorne Prince.
Yeah, I
Oh,
like him.
yeah.
He's
Which
cool.
I kept laughing because his accent reminded me of Guillermo from.
I'm afraid that I've ruined all scenes with this guy in it.
Oh yes.
Oh, yes. Do you know why I do not like the Lannisters?
That was a great introduction. So, because you see sexually something weird going on there.
Oh yeah,
And
what
then-
the hell
Oh,
was
yeah.
going on there?
He
Have you
likes-
ever been with a prince?
Yeah.
And then you see him assault those two Lannisters.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's good with weaponry, and
I
Yeah,
guess
he
so.
stabs the guy in the wrist, and he gives him the other friend who's like going to draw a sword. He's like, if you want to save your friend, once I pull this dagger out, he's going to bleed a lot. You might be able to save him, so you got to make a choice here.
Yeah,
that was
so-
so awesome.
he's kind of like good with weapons and stuff. That's a little hint. You'll see more as it goes on. It was funny because Tyrion and Bronn, they have that, and Pod have that hilarious scene where he's like, "Do you see the sigils? Yellow balls."
Perfect
Gold
Braun
balls.
impersonation, by the way. Yellow balls.
Yellow balls.
Yeah.
And
He's selling. It's a guy. Braun is played by a guy who used to sell hot dogs on Fifth Avenue.
yeah, but then they learn. They tell him, "Oh no, the prince has already arrived. He
Yeah.
arrived like ahead of us. We're just coming up here." And then Pod also now shows another skill he has. He has like the eyes of an elf or something. He can like spot like every.
What's your FIC pod?
Yeah, so
He's got a huge dick, elf eyes. What else? What
Horse
the hell else could there
pay
be? Oh man,
Uh,
my money's on Pod for
He's
King
still
for King of Westeros.
to me he's the most confusing character because I don't know if
He is a conundrum.
It's weird. He's an enigma wrapped
In a riddle.
with a penis.
He's a riddle with a horse dick.
Yeah, and then you have that last scene with how do you say his name? Prince Oberyn.
Oberon,
Oberyn.
right? I believe.
And
yeah.
it's him and Tyrion.
That was awesome.
And he's just basically explaining like why they have such bad blood, and he goes through the list, and then he brings up the mountain. See, you've only seen little things the mountain does here and there.
Right,
like-
cutting off his horse's head when he loses a
Do you
joust.
think they could ever air a show that's only about the mountain with
No.
all the things he does?
No, definitely not.
That
That's
was-
got to be like
The most
straight to
horrifying.
DVD kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, just raping and
Only
pillaging
sold in
and
international waters.
torturing people. Like,
That's a snuff film. That's what
Yeah.
that is. That's like the worst snuff film
yeah, it's
you've
like-
ever
it's gore
imagined.
porn.
Yeah. Oh god, I don't even want to think about that. You know what was a graphic image was when Prince Oberyn is saying how the mountain like
wrists?
raped his
Oh.
sister to death.
Yeah.
Like like raped his sister and then split her in half with his and like I was the first thought I had was like, which way did he split her?
What?
Well,
Really?
straight down to the head or like through
Or
the
like-
torso, sideways.
No, I was thinking like lengthwise. He's like from the legs up, like right down the middle.
What?
Okay.
That was the disgusting imagery I had.
I thought you were going to talk about how he's talking about how many blood vessels are in the wrists and like.
He gets very. Do you know there are 3,200 vessels in the wrist?
It's like he's doing like a science lecture.
Do you know at what temperature water boils? Let me show you.
Yeah, but that character, I want to see more of him because he's crazy.
Maybe cut the part out about how I talk about the splitting of the woman.
No, that's good.
That's good.
It gives
We'll see.
our viewers insight into your sick mind.
And it gives me something.
But I was
to draw.
look. I'm just being honest. I'm not saying I enjoyed it. I'm saying it disgusted me.
Yeah, it's a
Right.
Yeah.
don't
And that's
have to
just
see
where
it.
my mind went. Okay, that doesn't mean that I liked it.
Sure.
Right,
All right.
Tyrion scenes, a lot of good ones here. I like.
We talked about that one already, that was funny too when Bronn was like, because Tyrion had said what a great diplomat he was already,
Yes.
and he's like, oh yeah, great diplomacy skills you're showing there.
Yeah, as he's like talking to them, they just kind
Yeah,
of
they're
they
just
almost
like,
like run him
yeah,
over.
fuck you. Yeah, poor Tyrion.
Yeah,
do
yeah.
with Sansa. Oh man, Sansa's not eating anything, and then Tyrion shows up and. He's got it. Shay's immediately giving him the stink eye.
And then we do learn that she thinks that Tyrion tried to send her away because remember last season Varys gives her.
Yes.
So in her mind that was like Tyrion. He was doing that on behalf of Tyrion. Which
Yeah,
she
but
says,
Tyrion had no
I
clue
didn't."
what was going on there. Yeah, Shay tries to
Seduce
bang him,
him.
and coming in, then they have their argument. Shay's being stubborn, doesn't get why Tyrion
annoying.
is doing what he has to do.
She sucks his finger.
Yeah, she tastes his
We pay
thumb.
attention to very different details in these scenes.
I'm thinking about women being split in half from the crotch up, and then you're thinking about Shay sucking on a guy's thumb
Why not both?
at the same time.
Anyway, so let's leave King's Landing for now.
All right.
Let's travel across the sea
The narrow sea.
to Daenerys and her dragons, who we see are pretty much like cats.
But larger slightly.
If you touch them weird, they hiss at you, and they're like, "All right,
Oh, yeah.
back on apathetic
The
jerks."
biggest dragon, he's
They bring you dead animals? Not really you, though.
Yeah, that's he.
yeah. Oh no, that's true. That was kind of similar.
At first, I was like,
I caught
"Is that
this
a-"
bird for you.
Yeah, when they dropped that carcass, I was like, "Is that a dog?"
It should have been a person.
And the thing I kind of,
Some random dude.
I thought it would.
Hey,
be,
it may become that.
I thought it'd be awesome if it was just like some gigantic because they were out in the
Here's
water.
a cow.
No, like,
Oh,
like
wait.
a whale.
A whale.
No, not a whale. Like a big
Here's a
swordfish
beluga whale.
or
It's a
something. Like a
dolphin.
bite on it, and they just.
I caught a plesiosaur for you.
Yeah.
Because I don't know where they got that sheep flying out over the water. Stupid.
No, you don't want to know.
Maybe they had it a while ago and they regurgitated it.
Oh, they're like that. One
Maybe.
little detail, I was watching the episode from last season where, she looks like the Greek goddess and they present her the gold and stuff. When
Yeah.
the dragon roars, they actually put, these vents inside the dragon's mouth where the fire comes out.
Oh, yeah?
I was impressed because I never noticed it before, but I was watching it in HD and I was like, oh, cool. So someone actually designed the mouths so it actually
That's
makes
awesome.
sense. Like, they have these weird holes, tube things
Interesting.
where the fire would come out.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
good.
that's a good detail.
Good design.
I like the dragons looked awesome in this episode.
Yeah.
And then she tried to Jorah Mormont let her know you cannot tame a dragon, Khaleesi.
He stands
He
up
just sneaks up on her.
Hello,
Khaleesi, it's a dragon. You cannot tame a dragon.
And then
Yeah.
this leads us to one of the more
one of the
peculiar
more
parts.
perplexing, yeah.
Some guy
yeah.
with a beard has replaced Chin Guy.
Yeah, thank goodness.
I'm very pleased by that.
I know, I am
The only
too.
disappointment is that we cannot talk about Chin Guy anymore.
I know, I can't draw Chin. Here's Chin Guy right now.
Just keep him the same.
I just drew Chin Guy. There he is. And with
Oh my God, look at I think the chin is growing.
Oh my God, look at it. And then with a few little alterations, like a beard and hair and
Yeah.
stuff. Take away the smarmy glance.
Add
it
some
becomes-
flowers.
Yeah. And he becomes this complete. He's basically a different.
It's like a neutered version of Dario. What's the guy's
I
name?
don't know.
Dario Naharis, I think,
yeah.
right?
Completely different look,
I
completely
was-
different personality. It
Yeah.
seems,
Yeah.
and everyone is still treating him.
I was really confused.
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck happened to the other guy.
A
A friend of ours who was watching the show said that, and I didn't know this. He was saying that he was a rap star or something.
That's what I read.
or wannabe rap star in the UK.
or something like that.
Maybe Claire knows about that guy too. Again, she's our UK
She's the only person who
affiliate, I guess.
comments.
Reporting from the UK, Claire Gray. She's
Thank you, Dexter. Things here are. Where's your English?
Cloudy
Here
as
are very
usual.
British.
They're drinking tea everywhere.
There is spotted dick all over the place.
What?
We have a prime minister. Back to you.
So was he a rapper or not?
Yes, enlighten us, please.
All right, so they're making their way.
That was bizarre.
They're making their way to Meereen. On the way, they find bodies pointing the way to Meereen. So it looks like a little girl or something.
Yeah. So what they've done is they're expecting Daenerys. This is like another slaver city.
Right.
So what they've done in anticipation of her arrival is they've basically killed slaves and then posed their bodies on like a kind of makeshift crucifix thing pointing the direction to Meereen. And there's 163 miles left, and then they say there's one, our scouts have said there's one every mile, 163 miles. That was interesting.
All right,
Moving on.
Let's move. Okay, Sansa, whatever Sansa. She's depressed, she's not eating. Then there's a little scene there with Jaime and Brienne. They're like, oh, what's going on? What's going on? She's sitting down there. She.
That's what they were saying.
He's like,
great writing.
You look like a Lannister. Let's blow this popsicle stand. And so then Sansa's like, oh, what's that? And then behind her is like a fat, alcoholic, hazy shadow that weaves through the weeds. And so she starts running. And then she's in the inner part of this hedge maze, and out pops Sir Danto.
I don't think that's right. Sir, is it Dantos?
So Dantos? Yeah, there you go.
Sir Danto.
We know from, in the last season, Joffrey force-fed him wine because he showed up drunk.
Then it was just like spewing out of his face.
Yeah. And then he named
now
him,
he's the fool.
He's the fool, which I guess just means your job is to...
amuse Joffrey. He's a jester.
All right, I mean...
Yeah. In the book, there was a fool who was like some mentally challenged person, right? Patchface or something.
Sir Dantos, he gives her basically his last possession. That
he says, "I owe you my life. I can never repay that. This necklace was my mother's. This is like the last thing of value that I have. I want you to have it. I want you to wear it. Thank you. Blah 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 blah." And so that establishes that.
So Sansa has an ally. Keep that in mind, boss.
Got it.
So let's go south of the wall.
Ygritte, Tormund Giantsbane knows that Ygritte basically let Jon Snow go because he said, you put 3 arrows in him, but I've seen you put an arrow through the eye of a rabbit from 200 yards away. If you put 3 arrows in him and he's alive, it's because you didn't want to kill him.
Right.
And then the Thens roll up.
I like his tongue.
Your tongue.
That's right, Jon Snow. Tongue.
Yeah, and then the Fens come up.
Fens.
Who at first I thought were the Borg. The way they walk.
Oh, yeah. They're freaking creepy.
Gosh,
Oh, my God.
I like them, though.
They have this, like, cocky head wobble that they do.
almost like giant. Like, I don't know.
They're
like,
really
weird.
big.
Like,
Yeah.
not
that,
human.
The one guy, that guy was huge.
That guy was definitely the leader.
Yeah.
And then they're cannibals. And
Which
that was...
the reveal was not as shocking as I think they could have made it. Because there was a part there.
Right, it wasn't.
Well, they're going to reveal it. So
Yeah,
you're just
right.
wondering how far they're going to go
what
with
is
it.
it gonna
And
be?
you see
Yeah.
like a guy there, he's kind of like shoving something, and the other
Yeah.
guy has like a stick. And so you thought had the same thought I did. What did you think we were going to see when they panned down?
I thought you were going to see a spit going through a guy's screaming mouth and coming out his ass.
Yes. And then slowly starting to
Yeah.
rotate.
He's just like being spun around. Instead, it was just a disappointing arm.
This is what I think they should have. He should have been walking up. Like, you should have seen him, like, eating something as he's walking, but you don't know what it is.
You want a bite?
And then you see a shot of his back, and he's holding, obviously, like, an arm with, like...
Yeah. Or he's just munching on some fingers.
Or they pan down, it's like a perfectly cooked little chicken on a plate.
Or it's just like like the bottom half of a person, like a mannequin, basically, like on.
It's
It's like perfectly cut in half and like perfectly straight legs on a spit.
well, it would have been fun. As bad if they showed just like a foot.
I think a foot would have been too comical, to be honest. If like they couldn't go over the top. I think with like a screaming head,
Right.
You know, that's too absurd.
Do you think they tried different things?
I definitely think they tried everything, and I think that I would bet that they tried. Let's try a leg, and like there's like a foot sticking up on the end. It just looked too ridiculous.
Okay, let's try the full human torso idea that Dexter came up with. Okay,
Right.
bring it. It's a little horrifying. Oh, no.
Dexter's really fucked up.
You know what? Let's just cut a woman in half and call it a day. What else happens here at, south of the wall? They're planning an attack.
They're just waiting.
And they're waiting.
And then they cut to Jon Snow.
Well, first is Sam, like, waddling around, and he runs up the stairs, and you see Jon Snow. Apparently, he was, like, putting his pants on and getting dressed.
Sam's always watching.
Oops. Sorry. Me again.
Did I barge in on you?
And then Sam's like, there's a lot of things.
Puts
to
his
hate.
pants
What was
on
I saying?
exactly
Like,
12:24.
John was saying that he was always jealous of his brother, always hated him because he was better at him than everything. And then Sam feels the same way towards Jon Snow because Sam was always put down as a failure by his own father. And then so they were talking about that. And then they go to, you see Jon's being put before this kind of panel of the hierarchy of the Night's Watch. But yeah.
It happens in the book, but what happens?
It does?
The way I read it in the book was it was just the guy who hates Jon Snow and some other guy who's like
Janos Slint, I think, is the guy who was the disgraced Kingsguard captain.
He was there, and he was there like taking notes, and they were trying to like get because I don't remember the blind guy being there. I don't remember anyone else.
I don't remember that. I don't remember a scene like that at all. And then so Jon Snow what really was confusing me. Because I kept thinking about, I don't remember this happening, and I know the show's going in a different direction, which is good. But I was curious because I was waiting for them to have a lot of turmoil because Jon Snow always struggles with this idea that he broke his vows and that what would people do if they knew? Yeah. And I thought I remembered that being the case in the book, and then here he's like, I slept with a wildling, I did this, I did that, and
for some
everything,
reason,
and he just kind of comes right out with it. It's more cathartic for him right away.
Someone correct me, but I seem to remember like they decide no, you're not free, and they lock him up somewhere.
Right when he comes back.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that might have
They
been.
interrogate him. They say, you...
I think so.
And I remember because the guy was feeding him questions, and every answer John would give, it was like that. It's like, oh, look, he's speaking like a wildling now. And look, he's referring to them by this or that. But here, I think they are taking another direction.
Yeah, definitely.
Which is fine. Because,
also, it's good. They should. It should be. I like that it's different from the books, because otherwise it would be almost boring for me and boring for most people who read the books. Aemon Targaryen basically absolves him of any kind of wrongdoing there.
And John basically says, like, look, they have 100,000 people. They're going to attack from the south first, and they're going to wait for the. I can't wait for this because they're really building up the biggest fire that like Westeros has ever seen or something.
They're gonna like burn some leaves.
It's just like
this fire's really smoky.
It's like a guy with like a torch, like, do it now. We couldn't.
It's me, man.
Couldn't set it up,
guys. Guys, like way off. Guys, hey, did you see the signal?
Commence the sneak attack.
We ran out of matches. This is the biggest we could get. It rained yesterday. The fire won't grow.
Hello?
Hey, did you hear me?
I think they're asleep. I think they're asleep,
guys. Yeah, basically, and then no one everyone kind of like poo-pooed his idea of like, yeah, right. They can't even get 50 wildlings together.
Hound Arya.
They're right.
Awesome.
Yes.
Okay, so it starts, they're on their way. His plan, I guess, is to go take her to...
the Vale.
Yeah, what's her name? Lysa?
Lysa,
and basically like sell her, like, here's the kid.
Lysa Arryn. She's
they come
a nut.
across this little kind
it's
of...
like an inn.
And the Hound had a hilarious line there.
Oh, yeah. What the hell did they say?
Oh, everyone...
Oh, names their sword.
Names their sword is like, everyone names their sword or something. He's like, cunts.
No. Yeah, so then so then they're hiding in the bushes. They see the two guys. Then they go in. Then Arya just kind of sneaks off all of a sudden. And he's like, "What the fuck?" And then he's like, "No, get back here." Then that's when that guy opens the door, possibly leaves, and then
and then there's a slow shot as the Hound's just standing there.
Everyone gets real quiet.
He's like 2 feet above the door.
Yeah,
and then he just slowly goes in. Everyone's just like looking at him.
Yeah,
just apparently something's going on there. Some guy's grabbing girls. He just walks to the back of the room and sits down. I love the Hound. He's
awesome. That was an awesome scene. So then,
my favorite character.
Then they're sitting down at the table. The one guy that Arya pointed out, he's like, "Oh, I know you. You're the Hound." And then he starts talking, saying, "Oh, this is great. We're the King's men. We get to do whatever the fuck we want. We just come in. We take girls. If you know how to push these innkeepers, they got gold, silver, all this shit."
Because he knows who his brother is. So he thinks, his brother's a maniac. He must be a maniac.
Yeah, you should join us. Then the Hound basically tells him to fuck off, and that pisses the guy off.
I love when he drinks
and
for
he's
like a minute.
Yeah, well, he takes the guy's drink. If one more word comes spilling out of your mouth, you're a talker. That was hilarious.
Yeah.
And then he just starts chugging the guy's drink.
Keeping
And then
eye
he's
contact.
and then he's demanding that he gives him their chickens. When we're saying it like this, it sounds more ridiculous than it was.
Right, it was really serious. It sounds retarded.
Oh, you're a talker. Give me a drink. Now bring me chickens. I demand chicken, not a penny.
Are there pennies in this world?
It's
I guess.
I was confused.
yeah, they got pennies.
sure.
What happens is one of the coolest fight scenes since the flaming sword fight.
Since Sonny beat up Carlo in The Godfather.
Well, Game of Thrones related fight.
Whatever.
I thought he was gonna like plow through those guys a lot easier. It was like closer than I thought it'd be.
Well, he did just chug like 2 mugs of beer.
I don't think that matters.
Yeah, he's a big guy. I think
I don't
those
know.
2 beers he's barely.
But he
filling in.
was on an empty stomach.
Yeah, but it's not like beer today. That's probably less alcohol in it.
I would imagine it'd be more alcohol.
Think so?
Yeah.
I don't think
Well, that's
so.
because when people make moonshine, that stuff's like,
Well, that's
pure
they're
alcohol.
distilling it. This is if they're just drinking some kind of ale that this guy who owns this place made in his backyard. All you need is like water. You put in some
maybe.
oats.
I don't know. The Hound, he's still the Hound, but he's still going to be road weary. He hasn't eaten in like a
Grains.
couple of days.
Right.
You know what I mean? He's just had some alcohol. He's tired. He even said he didn't want to go in there and fight because he was on an empty stomach. So I think that's why he was a little bit maybe off his game. Also, he's more of a brawler. Man, he was knocking teeth out of guys' heads.
his punches.
That was
I'm pretty
epic.
sure there was one punch there. It looked like the guy's eyeball flew out of his head.
Something went flying.
It was probably a spurt of blood, but
Yeah.
it looked like a piece of his face fell off.
That was nuts.
And then Arya gets back, needle.
Well, she was just watching for a while, and then she sees the guy, and then she gets involved. She did some slow stabbing of her own. She
Yeah, you
takes a
see-
big
She's
sword,
doing the sword dance from that she
Yeah.
learned from the guy. She's doing all the positions and stuff.
and she just slowly shoves that sword into like a guy's side, and then she grabs needle. After she hacks the guy's leg, that guy that killed her friend, and then she takes needle and starts repeating what he said to her friend.
Taste of his own dick medicine.
Yeah, that's right, exactly.
That's right.
And the guy was like so confused at first, and then he seemed to realize at the last second.
He's like, what? Only an idiot would say that.
Yeah.
Wait.
Oh no!
And I like what Boss said when he said, that's probably a quick death.
yeah.
Guy's gargling his own blood right.
I thought he would go. That would went through the brainstem, which should shut down all his, life
I
process.
think it's just
No, it took about 30 seconds of him choking on his own blood. Yeah, that was
and
nuts.
the last shot is them. She got her new horse because
Oh yeah, we didn't talk about that. She was complaining about getting her own horse
Yeah.
before, and the Hound was like, "Yeah, right. I'm going to give you a horse so I can watch the only thing that I have that is valuable ride off."
Right.
And then he was saying, "Oh, maybe you can get a nice pony when you go to your aunt's." And then after she was fighting like that and everything,
He got his
she gets
chicken.
a nice. He's eating a chicken leg.
I thought it'd be
and she's
funny if he
riding
had
on
like
a
a bucket
pony.
of chicken there.
I thought he should have had a whole chicken.
Well, he probably ate a couple at least.
Oh yeah.
I would have. I really want chicken. You guys want to get chicken now?
Yeah, sure.
All right.
We got to kill some people though before we get it.
Oh yeah,
It's only right.
I want
It's
to build up
only
an
right.
appetite
Yeah.
first.
Now we're gonna go our old segment.
What did Boss think? Ba-da-da-da-ba-ba-da-ba. Ba-da-da-da-do-do-do-do. Ba-da-da-do-be-de-do-de-dee, scooby-de-doo-be-de-dee. Ha-da-da-da-da-doo-doo.
Hi.
All right,
Okay.
boss.
All right, well, that was What Did Boss
for listening.
Think?
Leave your comments and,
Ba-da-da-da-ba-ba-da.
Oh, developments. Development A.
I have a growth.
Why do I feel like it's going to be
on
an
my
hour and a
leg.
half?
Dornish guy wants to kill Tywin. Thought that was interesting.
Yes.
Very interesting.
Development.
Development B. You guys didn't mention this. I don't know who. I guess she's some kind of handmaiden. She saw what's her face Shay leaving
That's
Tyrion's
Yep.
thing, and
Yep,
she
forgot
told
about
on him like
Eyes
a
and
little.
ears everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was when Jaime and Cersei were having their little lovers'
Shit's
tiff.
gonna
She
go
interrupted with that.
down.
Oh,
One of
snap.
Cersei's little birds,
Yeah.
if you will.
Oh, yeah, where was Varys this episode?
That chicken's
Whoa.
got birds.
He's doing his thing.
He's doing
You
his
leave
thing.
Varys out of this.
All right.
And then
It's development
Next.
C.
Not really.
Next.
I don't know. For me, it's a development. I really like these other wildling guys. They're cool. it makes me think there's other cool wildling guys around.
Well, giants.
You don't remember giants?
To entice me, besides the giants, I didn't expect things like this. Look at his freaking skin.
They got some crazy.
What, they scar themselves or something?
It looks like that stuff that they like. You can put like the stuff under your skin to make it like kind of bulge.
No, that's something some cultures do. That you cut and then it heals raised because of scar tissue or something like that.
That's gross.
They're weird.
They have like weird accents. I couldn't place their accent either.
The other thing is warging only a northern thing?
Well, it's because these people are so.
It's mystical.
It's everything north of the wall. It's like from another time.
It's like hippie.
There's a lot of like either north of the wall or then in the other continent
near north,
because that's where the dragons are.
Right.
And like you have like these kind of like mystical, kind of ancient kind of magics that are happening. That's how I kind of look at it.
And the thing
because,
with
like,
magic,
you have the fist of the first men, like the children of like the all that kind of children of the forest shit. You know what I mean? Like going on. That's all like only up there. And then it's just stories down below, like in the rest of the continent in the south.
And I decided I want to be a wildling. If I was in this world, I would be a wildling.
You know, these wildlings kind of have a similar philosophy to Walking Dead with those guys that got destroyed by Rick with the claiming. Climbed! And they're always talking about Egret, like, who do you belong to? Like, who claimed you?
right?
Climbed! I'm waiting for a wildling just to have a country accent. Just go, climbed! I climbed!
Bunch of rednecks with guns to show.
Oh,
what tribe is
What
this?
do we have here? You screwed up, asshole. You screwed up.
Two more things. Obviously, I think Arya's going a little crazy now. I think maybe a little
Well, I
kill
like
happy.
that. Now we're seeing
It's
Arya
pretty
doing.
cool.
Yeah.
But
This is what she always wanted to do, really.
Yeah. Now we're getting to see. She's taking her revenge. Like this is what I've been waiting for.
yeah,
She's like, the sweet taste of blood on my blade and needle.
Yeah.
kill happy, and I'm
I
excited.
wouldn't say she was kill happy.
Well,
I think she was
happy.
very justified.
She was
guess.
very satisfied with what she did.
And I'm sure the owner of that inn was very, very happy.
Yeah, unless he got killed in the midst.
No, I, don't, I think he just ran.
No, I
you,
think because
you
his
saw
daughter,
them-
because he was pleading about, please leave my daughters alone.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you saw there was a group of people. It looks like they ran up a ladder or up a staircase. So,
Yeah.
so I think they just got the hell out of there until it blew over.
Yeah. It's basically, it's one of the worst things you can be. You wanted to be a wildling, you said, boss. One of the worst things you can be is an innkeeper in this world.
And have
daughters.
Yeah, and have like multiple daughters.
Or just be a daughter of an innkeeper. That actually is probably the worst thing. Or just being a woman in general in this world, because you're just going to get raped is basically what's going to happen. Good God.
What a great, happy world George Martin has created.
George Martin's view towards women is interesting.
And
What do I do with this female character? Well, I guess she's going to have to be raped.
I'm very excited.
Memo to self.
Very excited about next week because I'm anticipating some Theon torture scenes. My favorite.
Oh,
Why is that your favorite?
I don't know. I like seeing that guy in pain.
You like when he cut his finger and peeled back the flesh?
know.
you like when
It's really intense. That's
like when
why
he
I
was-
like
he
it.
was possibly
chomping down?
eating a dick?
It's really it keeps you on the edge of your seat. Like, what's this guy gonna do? Oh no, not that. Ooh.
That doesn't sound enjoyable.
I don't know. I like those. I like
watching
that.
guys-
Sorry, call me weird, man. I like that stuff. Hey,
Boss likes watching
he's a good
guy
screamer.
being tortured, then start to have sex with hookers, then that's stopped. and
Right.
His dick is cut off.
Right. That's his thing.
He's
Yeah,
creative.
you like women.
That
It's a
Randy
very
Snow's
specific
creative guy.
fetish.
And I would like it if the dragons threw a giant swordfish at Daenerys' feet.
Yeah.
What was it? That
That's
was two
dangerous.
things?
Oh, and I noticed the shadow on the preview, and I thought, oh, dragons get real big. That's it.
Oh, he just noticed in the preview for next week that there's a shot of a city. That's been in like all the previews kind of for the show
Right.
where you see the big cityscape and then a big giant dragon.
How big
shadow
do you
over
think
it.
the dragons are going to get?
I don't know. That one looked freaking like bigger
Because
than
you
a
remember
building.
in the first season, when Arya's sneaking around, she hides in like a giant dragon skull. It's like the size.
It's like a bus.
Yeah, it's like a bus. She's like in there hiding.
So yeah, it's like a car or a bus.
Oh yeah, I
size.
think
It's like
easily that big. But
You think so? Because they were saying
that's just the head.
the last of the that was back when dragons
The
were huge.
last
The
ones were
ones-
small.
Yeah, because they were getting sickly
'Cause,
or bad genetics.
Tywin lectures Joffrey about that, right? In that scene, in that awesome scene where
Yeah.
Joffrey's like sitting in the Iron Throne, he's thinking he's a fucking badass, and then Tywin just puts him right in his
What was
stupid,
Joffrey
shitty
looking?
place.
He was just looking at the armor in the room when they were trying to plan out the.
I didn't. I didn't really get what that was about. I'd have to just watch it again.
Yeah.
But he was looking. There was like swords and stuff, and some armor up on the on the room, and that was like in like Jaime's kind of office.
Yeah, and I like that cut. It's his statue.
Oh
and
yeah,
then it
that
cuts
was
to him
hilarious.
standing in the same position.
I was waiting for them. Marjorie and Tyrell and Brienne are talking about Joffrey, and earlier the grandmother had said, be careful what you say, and even just with me here. But then you see that cut of that statue, and I kept waiting for the statue's head to like turn, like it had been, and look at them like it had been listening.
And if you look at the statue, like he has his foot on top of a wolf.
Oh, on top of a wolf, shot up with arrows.
Yeah. So, oh god.
What a fucking weirdo.
Hey, he's a bowman,
Now, how much time has passed?
Bowman.
Since the Red Wedding?
Yeah, since the end of last season, the beginning of this one now. Because that statue was created. I mean,
He
how long
created
did
that
that
statue.
take?
He had to
much
forge
time?
the new swords. He had to. Jamie
Dragons
needed his
grow.
hand built. That took.
But, like, you see
time.
his wound has, like, healed completely.
Yeah, it's got to be.
Well, they haven't walked very far, Arya and the Hound,
think-
so...
I think somebody mentioned, like, something like that was... Like, oh, that was weeks ago or something like that. Somebody gave, like, I think gave
It's
a
got to
time
be.
reference
It's
in
got
the
to be at
episode.
least like a month or month and a
Yeah.
half or something. Probably more because that. Well, maybe the Maester took such good care of it that it worked better. I don't know.
Oh, that's funny. They were talking about how Cersei hates Maester Pycelle or
'Cause of
whatever.
dead
and
cats.
It smells like dead cats.
I'm not aware of what a dead cat smells like. It's like Meister Pycelle. Yeah, but I thought it pretty solid opening.
Definitely. I liked it a lot.
Nothing about it really annoyed me. Or I thought that new character, the prince, I thought it was excellent. What'd you think of
And his wife?
his
I guess?
lover,
His lover?
lady?
Yeah.
They have an
An
understanding.
open relationship.
Very open.
Hey, they like, well, they're both bisexual. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, there you go.
Whatever,
They're having a good
whatever
time.
floats your boat. Guess that's
Predictions?
it.
Any predictions for next week?
I told you, some fun Theon scenes.
Predictions, Dexter?
Well, I kind of know where it's going, so I can't really give a good prediction, can I?
Well, they might.
I can give a couple predictions that will just ruin everything for everybody.
All right, now, yeah, okay. We shouldn't do predictions.
Yeah,
Well,
exactly, yeah.
Okay. Definitely this season we're gonna do one of our little secret episodes where we just talk about.
Probably after next week's episode, we'll have to do a spoiler one to discuss some things.
Yes.
That's my guess.
Okay. All right.
right.
Thanks for listening. Leave your comments and.
Ta-ta.
And then tomorrow we've got to come up with a contest. If you have an idea for a contest we could do our job for us.
Best contest idea wins.
Yeah, here's the contest. Come up with a contest.
Good luck.
I hope you win.
Bye.
Okay, that was an abrupt
Take
ending
care.
there.